Hello everyone, it is Monday, March 30th, and we are ready for science. Last week you completed the study guide section of page 143 as we finished up this chapter. Today I want you to look at the reverse side of that page, the side that says thinking it through. Okay, this is the side that allows you to use your brain as you think back over all of the concepts that we have already learned in this chapter. Okay, it doesn't mean this is the section where there's not necessarily going to be one answer in your book that you can go to. You are using your knowledge, you are using that wonderful brain that God gave each one of you, and you are taking that information and putting it into your own words. Okay? So the first one talks about how all of the cycles kind of go into each other and why we need all of them. And you can see that even though we talked about the water cycle and the nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle, that they all need each other. They're not separate. They are interlinked. And number one is you explaining how they're interlinked. Okay, so you're going to look for the parts of those that kind of overlap. What do they all need, and why are they all kind of one big thing and not separate things? And then number two is talking about a farmer that burns his field. Why does he do that? So look back in the section that talked about fire and see why he might want to do that every few years. If you can't figure it out, you've got a computer in front of you, hopefully, or the ability to do some searching. Look it up and say, why would a farmer burn his field, or benefits of burning in between crops or something like that would help you come up with an answer for that. And then the third one, it talks about why, as a lady is coming in from another country, would the airport inspectors not let her keep a potted plant. And this is one of the last things that we talked about. So think about that. What is that potted plant? And why are they not going to allow her to keep it? Okay, look back in the last section that we talked about to find that if you can't think of that quickly. Now, I'm going to start you with a project today. We are at the end of this chapter, and I want you to use this chapter to think about a few things. I'm going to give you one part of the project today, and then tomorrow I'm going to give you the second part of the project, and then on Wednesday we're going to have a Zoom meeting together, and we're going to share your results of your research and your project together. If you're unable to meet for that meeting, that is okay. You may email me your work and show me what you've been working on. Okay, so here it is. I want you to research an endangered animal. Now, one of the best places to do that is the World Wildlife Foundation. So you can go, that's the website, worldwildlife.org. worldwildlife.org. And if you go to that and look up endangered animals, then they have a list of a whole bunch of endangered animals. And I want you to pick one of those, any one of those down the line. Okay, I want you to look at the list for a minute, see which one interests you. There's all kinds. There's sea life, there's things that live on land, there's things in the rainforest, there's animals everywhere that are endangered. So pick one, and then I want you to click on that, and then I want you to make sure you get some information down. The first thing I want you to make sure that you get is information about that animal. So, where do they live? What do they eat? A little bit about how they live. Okay, what are their interactions with their species, with other species? Give me a few facts. Maybe try to get 5 or 6 facts, but make sure you include where they live and what they eat in those facts about the animals, okay? And there on that World Wildlife page, there is a first section that's facts. Then if you scroll down, the second section is why is this animal important? Okay, so because if they're endangered, why wouldn't we just let them be extinct? Why go to trouble of doing something? So they have a section there that tells why they're important. I want you to look at that section, and I want you to list why it is that that animal is important. Okay? Then if you keep going down that page, there is a fourth section that mentions the threats. Okay? Or maybe this is the third section. The threats. So what is it that is causing these animals to be endangered? Is it that their habitat is being destroyed? Is it overhunting? Is it overfishing? What is it? Okay, is it climate? So look at the threats to that animal and then tell me what the threat to that animal is. Okay? Then the next thing, down at the very bottom of the page, it says what the World Wildlife Foundation is doing. And this tells me what they are doing to try to help that animal not be endangered anymore. And there are, remember I was telling you about the wolves in Yosemite National Park? They had been for years back and forth on the endangered list, but now they're not on the endangered list anymore. So different people can have a positive impact. People can have a negative impact by destroying the rainforest, by pollution, by overfishing, but people can actually say, look, I am building a house here, but there is one way I want to give back. There's one way I want to make sure that I'm not destroying more than I'm putting back. So we can actually have a positive influence. So I want to know, what is the World Wildlife Foundation doing to help that endangered animal? Okay, do you understand? Let me briefly review. You're going to go to worldwildlife.org. You're going to look up endangered species. You're going to pick one of your choice. And then you're going to make sure you go to the 4 main headings on that page. You're going to figure, and some of them may not have as much information. If that's true, you may need to do a little bit more searching. Or if it were me, I would pick something different that had more of the information, because I know I clicked on 1 or 2 that didn't have a lot. So you're going to tell me a few facts about that animal. Then you're going to say, why is this animal important? Why we don't want it to go extinct? What are the threats to this animal? Why is it endangered? And then, what is the World Wildlife Foundation doing? And by the way, the World Wildlife Foundation is not the only one. It's not the only organization looking to help, but it is one that is trying to help and make a positive impact. Okay, if you have any questions, please list them in the comments below. If you have any questions, please, or you can email me. What I would like you to put in the comments is, I want you to go ahead and tell us which one you're picking. And then I would like us to try not to pick what someone else has chosen. So if you see your animal already on the list, oh, you need to pick something else. Okay, so in the comments, list your animal. And then if your animal that you wanted is already listed, then you need to pick something else. So there's a benefit of listing quickly. Okay, ready, set, choose what it is you want, and make sure you come back. You're going to need to come back, put it in the comments what you'd like to do. Okay, have fun.